Hello everyone to Basic Golf Clash. This is Cole Steady coming at you with another video. Today's video I'm going to be talking about a secret tournament loophole that you can use to help you place higher in every tournament that you play. This method is going to be effective for all the people out there that put up decent scores but still end up being 50th or 40th, and you're just tired of not getting a lot out of the tournaments. So this loophole will give you a slight advantage to assist you get a higher placing in every tournament. So I do apologize for the beginning of this video because it will take a little bit of explaining to start. So I apologize for the long explanation, but then you'll see exactly how I did it for this past tournament, for the Liberty tournament, using 2 accounts. So the first method I'm going to show you is having 2 accounts. So if you have 2 accounts, this is how you're going to want to play it. Now you figure out which account you're going to want to use this loophole for. Whichever account that is, once you finish your opening round with that account, you're going to log out of it into your second account. And you're not going to open up the original account until the end of the weekend round when you're going to play. So the whole time through Saturday and pretty much all of Sunday, you're not going to be under that other account, the account that you want to perform this method on. So, for example, with me, I had my negotiator account and my Cole Steady account. Cole Steady account was the one I was going to do the loophole with this weekend. Now I finished my round, my opening round with Cole Steady, signed out, signed into negotiator, and just left it on that one, and did not open up Cole Steady until about an hour and a half before the weekend round ends. So for me, that's 2:45 a.m. because I'm on the East Coast. So that means I'll open up Cole Steady's account for the first time since the opening round around 1:15 a.m., 1:20, in order for me to complete all 18 holes and not have to worry about getting to the 16th hole and only have a couple minutes left to finish out. So you want to make sure whatever time zone you're in, make sure you see when the tournament ends, start around an hour and a half, or just kind of gauge yourself. It takes me that long, but I'm prepared and I know where my shots are going to go and everything. So if you're not prepared and you just want to just play to play, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you just want to play, just when you do your opening round, just kind of look at the clock when you started and then look at the clock when you end if you play all the way through. This will tell you when you need to start your weekend round to where it takes you all the way up to the final few minutes that the weekend round ends. Now, you want to make sure that both your accounts are in the same clan. The reason you want to do that is you want to be able to see if the account you want to perform this method on actually made the weekend round. So what I do is when I sign a negotiator, if I go back into my members tab under my clan, I'll be able to scroll down, see Cole Steady, and I'll be able to see if there's an X by there or if there's an actual faded number. If there's a faded number, I know I made it. So that means I'm going to go ahead and do the loophole. Now, the disadvantage with having one account is that you'll be unable to see if you made the weekend round. So that's why I suggest that you do it with 2. Now, if you're you just have one account, there's nothing wrong with that. You're just basically going to sign in, do your opening round, and just kind of gauge whether you think you're going to make it or not. Now, obviously, if there's like a half day left and you're still in the top 10 or even the top 20, it's a good chance that you're going to make the weekend. So you just want to kind of gauge how well you did on the score. What's the common score that is getting people into that top 50 in order to, because I wouldn't want you to wait, especially if you're on the East Coast. If I couldn't look and I had to wait until 1:15 a.m. and then I look and I realize I didn't make it, I'm going to be pretty ticked because I stayed up to try and use this method in order to place higher and give myself this advantage, and I didn't even get to use it. So I highly recommend that you have 2 accounts, but it's perfectly fine if you only have 1. Okay, to the video showing how I do this. Now I'm in my negotiator account. You're going to go ahead and switch accounts for the first time since the opening round back to the one that you want to use, which is my Cole Steady account. So once you sign back in, it's going to show like, hey, you qualified, congratulations, yada, yada, yada. If you see that, you know you've done this correctly. So now once you have done this, you're going to go ahead and see how much time you have left. So it's going to show that I have an hour and 25 minutes, which is perfect for me. But you always want to keep in mind as I play, if I take a little longer, or if my opponent takes a little longer, I want to make sure that I'm looking at the time, because if the time isn't right and I start running out more, I may have to start forfeiting some playoffs to make sure I get all 18 holes in. So just keep in mind that's the original clock that you should start with to begin this loophole. Now, as soon as I sign into the rounds, you can see I'm 63rd and there's only 66. There's supposed to be 100, but there's only 66. So right now, if I play my rounds, I mean, there's going to be people that aren't going to be able to finish all their rounds before they get to me. So right now, 63rd is probably the lowest that I'll finish already when I start. So that's a huge advantage when it comes to playing this final round. I want to just make you just play. Don't worry about the clock right off the bat, but as you get towards the 9th, 10th, 11th hole, go ahead and double check and see how much time you got to make sure that you can finish. So now here's one of the issues that you will run into that are time wasters, is the fact that you're waiting so long, you're going to have to wait for an opponent. Now, sometimes you'll get an opponent right away because someone else procrastinated or knows about this loophole, or you'll have to wait just like this and wait for a recorded opponent. So, you know, that's the risk you're going to take. So you keep in mind when those happen. If it happens to you a lot, you're going to have to start forfeiting some playoff holes if you tie. So I end up getting this person, and then, you know, I start my rounds. Now with 17, I finished the 17th. This will show you what I need to see right before the final hole. So I look at the clock. There's 6 minutes. You have to at least start the 18th hole before the tournament ends completely. You could have 1 minute left, and as long as you click play hole 18/18, if you click that before, then it'll let you play this hole, and you won't. It won't just block you out, because there's times where I was speeding so quick, but I just really couldn't finish the rounds in time, and it ended up saying, "Oh, waiting for the results," and I couldn't play any more holes. So just make sure. If you want to get all 18 in, you at least have to start the 18th hole and push that play button, and then you can switch your clubs up when that happens once you get in. But hurry up and click on it, because if the tournament runs out, the tournament's over. So now I finished the 18th hole, got my eagle. Now you can see I jumped up to 29th, and you see there's 1 minute left. So that means someone. So I scroll down to just check and see if anyone's close. There's going to be one. There's a guy named Michael that's on the 17th. If he started it, then, you know, he's going to get in. But you can see that these people down here, if they were able to complete their holes, if they just do the normal, if they just do their normal play and they don't make any mistakes, which in pro they probably aren't. So you can see on the 9th hole he had a -13, so he's on pace for a -26. So that's someone who knocks me down to 30th right there. You can see a couple others that, you know, if they played their rounds, they would jump up ahead of me, and that's the issue that you run into once you finish and you have 100 players and all that. You know, you can see it didn't even get to the full 100. So I would have finished 76th even if I didn't even if I opened it up and then just go to bed. So you can see that's that's 24 extra spots that you wouldn't have gotten if you opened up your account on Saturday or early Sunday, because it would have filled up. But since you did it late, it went ahead and set you up. So you can see, like, all these guys could have easily got in front of me if they had a good second half. They could have jumped up in front of me and caused me to be in the 50th. But instead, you know, you can see on a -23 on pro, you know, that all day that's in the I'm 50th plus. Okay, I'm only using a basic ball when I play, so I don't expect to get too great, but, you know, I'm not using any of my specialty balls, so that's more invaluable to me. But you can see all these guys got really good rounds before it started, but I got a -23, and, you know, that put me at 29th. Now there is a guy here. He's goes by Michael. You can see that he finished the 17th. He's going to the 18th, and he has a -22. So with 1 minute, as long as he's in that hole, if he gets an eagle, he will jump ahead of me, which he did. I ended up 30th in this tournament. So, but with a -23 with 3,000 plus trophies in pro, using only a basic ball, I should have easily been in the 50s or the 60s. but instead I finished 30th. Now, that's with this loophole starting me 63rd, which is, I mean, that's pretty low from what I was expecting. But there's been other times where I did this loophole and I was 7th. So once that happens and I just played my rounds, I actually finished in the top 10 with just an average score. There was even one time, and I kid you not, I started my rounds so late that, you know, it was just one of those days. I had a busy day and couldn't get to it. I started and I was 15th. And I did all my, and this was in pro. I started doing my rounds. I only got to the 15th hole. I wasn't able to do the 16th, 17th, or 18th hole, and I finished 4th in a pro tournament. So anyone who doesn't finish all their rounds, you know, they end up way down. And I actually finished 4th. Now, keep in mind, there are going to be times where you start your weekend round like in the 90s. You know, don't worry, because if you just play your round, just play the way you know, once you finish, you're actually going to still be relatively higher, because keep in mind, there are going to be people that are not going to play, especially if they're on the East Coast, they're not going to play that late. And they're just basically, oh, I signed in and that's it, and I'm not going to finish my round. So if they don't finish the round, great, you just keep jumping ahead of them. As opposed to if you opened up your account on Saturday, there'd be 100 players and probably 70 plus have already finished their round, so you're basically playing catch up the whole time. So obviously you would love to open up the app and see that you started like in the top 10. That way you know you're going to finish pretty well, as long as you just play the way you know how to play. So now I'm going to show you just a little bit of the chests that you get and the rankings on pro, so you can see the difference. Now as you scroll down, you lose the kingmakers and you get into katanas. Now you know, and lower clan points and coins. So right now I finished 30th, so you can see that's exactly what I'm going to get. I'm going to get some katanas, I'm going to get some decent clan points and all that stuff, which I 100% would not have gotten if I got a minus 23 in pro with 3,000 plus trophies, and I had 100 people that were 70% of the people finished their round. So that does it for this video. Hopefully you found it helpful, and it allows you to do better in the tournaments and place higher to get better clan points, more coins, better specialty balls, and overall just give you confidence with this game, especially during tournament play. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell for future content. And this is Cole Steady signing off, and good luck.